Testosterone replacement therapy is the new hot girl on the block for people who want to get from their performance to their health to any general improvements. It's sort of the newest catch-all where someone will say, take this and it will solve all of your problems and make you rich. It's also something that is being pushed very hard by biohackers, quote unquote. And I can't think of something that would make me not listen to someone faster than them claiming that they're a biohacker. That's another video for another day. But testosterone replacement therapy is something that is gaining a lot of popularity, and I think it's a really good thing, but I think we have to put in some context. So this video is going to tell you if testosterone replacement therapy could be for you, how to go about getting it, and how it can impact you positively over the long run. Now, 20% of men 15 to 39 years old and up to 40% of men over 45 suffer from hypogonadism or low testosterone. Clinically, this is a big problem if you also have raised luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone stimulates your ovaries and testicles to produce testosterone. I should say ovaries or testicles for most people. It signals them to produce testosterone. So if you have an increase in that signal and you're not getting an increase in output, you have a clinically relevant problem that needs to be solved. Now, I'll provide the link to that study below. This is a highly politicized thing for some reason. I identify conservative myself, but a lot of people in the conservative world will say that we're getting low testosterone because we're feminizing men and we're not allowing men to be men, and I don't know, wrestling on the schoolyard, and we're not punching each other in the face anymore. That's not true. The issues and why testosterone is declining, according to the literature, are really four major things. Higher body fat mass, and that problem is only getting worse. Sedentary lifestyles, and that problem is only getting worse. Life stress, and that problem is only getting worse. And unfortunately, over the next couple of years, I think it's only going to get even worse for people with mortgages coming up and interest rates and whatnot. And fourth is metabolic disorders. These behaviors, these lifestyle behaviors that would lead to lower testosterone, these are increasing problems. And it's sort of it's a correlation, but it's a correlation that makes a lot more sense than just there's more women with blue hair yelling at you. This is likely why we're experiencing low testosterone. Now, interesting study here. It goes over the relationship between insulin resistance and testosterone. Insulin resistance is how you would diagnose diabetes, and the study is called The Association Between Serum Testosterone and Insulin Resistance, a longitudinal study. Not the best. We would want some sort of randomized control trial, some sort of systematic review, but it gives us something. And in this study, they had an 11-year follow-up with 1,400 men, so really good sample size. And interestingly enough, low testosterone predicted insulin resistance, not vice versa. So it's hard for us to say if diabetes is going to lead to lower testosterone, if lower testosterone is going to lead to diabetes, but the overall factor that is likely to lead to both is these poor lifestyle behaviors. If you're someone who wants to get the most from your training and you want to train hard, go ahead, check out the links in the description to my programs to turn yourself into someone with high testosterone and healthy behaviors. Now let's talk about how you might know if you have low testosterone. Well, the common signs are reduced sex drive, fatigue, lethargy, loss of smell, which I didn't know, but is interesting, depression, and of course, muscle and strength loss. The easiest one to actually know yourself is if your testicles measured at their largest points are less than 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters is the length of an AirPod. So boys, men, go ahead, grab your AirPod, size it up, and give yourself some sort of indication. Now, it's not something you want, for sure. You do not want to have a medical problem, but if there's a medical problem to solve, low testosterone is one of the easiest problems to solve. You just simply take exogenous testosterone and you're going to solve all these problems. You'll have more energy, you'll have a better sex drive, you'll have all of these incredible positive benefits. But this is only limited to people with a medical deficiency, not to someone who has normal testosterone who decides to take more for performance enhancements and whatnot. That comes with a host of other negative health consequences, like increased blood pressure, like mood changes in some instance, which I do have to do a video on this. I don't know if I'll touch on it here. Mike Israetel has come out many times and talked about the differences in his body with what he decides to take. I put a video out about mental health a few days ago, and people were talking about, well, someone needs to look into this, and that's the problem as well. These things are not all created equal. Testosterone replacement therapy is not going to turn you into what Mike Israetel describes as wanting to kill people and dark, intrusive thoughts. I personally don't really have those. I don't really have thoughts that I want to kill people who comment on my videos. In fact, comment whatever you'd like down below. I don't want to kill you. It's okay. You have your right to say what you'd like, and you're listening to me say what I like. That's only fair dialogue. But with testosterone replacement therapy, it is way, way too often self-prescribed. You cannot just decide that you have low testosterone, take some, say you feel great, and move on. That's not how medicine works. That's not how biology works. So self-prescribing, horrible idea. It's often just prescribed as well for aesthetics or performance. Testosterone replacement therapy it's in the name. You must be replacing something that is missing. You can't just feel like you want to look really good, be huge, be strong, be fast, and hide behind the guise of testosterone replacement therapy. If you're deciding to do that, that's totally up to you, and that's fine. But just put your hand up and say, I'm harming my health in the name of performance or aesthetics. That's fine. That's, in my opinion, that's up to you to do whatever you'd like. But if you're pursuing testosterone replacement therapy and you're someone who doesn't need it, i.e. you can't get it from a reputable source, the black market testosterone, there's a study that went through a whole host of black market testosterone to look at the potency, look at the efficacy. Are you actually getting what you're hoping to get? And this is a meta-analysis and systematic review with anabolic androgenic steroids on the black market. They do only talk about testosterone. I'm not sure if that's because of limited knowledge or if that's all they could find. But there were 5,413 samples of anabolic steroids that they tested. And of these, 36% were just straight counterfeit, not real at all. And 37% on top of that were substandard quality, meaning that if you go a black market route, there is statistically a 27% chance you're actually getting what you hope to be getting. Not the best odds. On top of this, the risks are infections, tissue damage, nerve damage, pain at the site of injection. I've heard stories at the gym. This is absurd. Sometimes people speak openly about it. Again, if you're someone who decides to do this, do your thing, but just be quiet about it. Do your own thing. Don't worry about it. Don't share it with people. Don't talk to people about it. Don't encourage people. Don't tell people how amazing it is for you, because it's not amazing for everyone. But there was a conversation at the gym where one guy was talking to another guy about how painful his leg was after injecting himself. Again, don't have these conversations at the gym. Just don't do it in private, whatever. But he said that, and he's like, I can't really bend my knee, and it's red and hot and swollen, every sign of infection. And the guy who gave it to him said, oh, that's just because it's really good. It's just really strong stuff. That's not how it works. That's not how it works in any sense of the word. But those are the problems if you're just going black market. Look at the person who you might be getting black market stuff from and decide, do I want my medical care and my health? And would I be comfortable if I told my family that this is the person I'm entrusting with my health? If the answer is no, which it should be if they're not a doctor, then don't worry about it. So this gets us to, naturally, well, how do you actually get testosterone replacement therapy? How do you get tested for it? How do you get your hands on it in a safe way? How do you know you're doing it right? Well, there are companies who do it. I work with a company myself. There are many who are great, who are reputable. The one that I use is called Blokes. I'll pop them down in the link in the description and in the pinned comment. They'll do your blood work. They will interpret the blood work. You'll meet with a doctor. That doctor will prescribe you testosterone if you need it. They also do peptide therapy if you don't need testosterone, other things that can help you in a preventative way. And this is one thing with testosterone replacement therapy and biohackers, as much as I hate the term and I don't believe them, the things that I do love is that it's pushing medical professionals and the medical industry more towards prevention and not just treatment. If you have diabetes, we're also going to have to start preventing cardiovascular disease, because those two go hand in hand. If you have both of those, the likelihood that you're going to have low testosterone is quite high. So we're going to have to start to prevent that beforehand as well. Lifestyle is a major component. And if you don't get your lifestyle right, don't take any substance and just assume that it's going to change your life. Take it or don't take it, but change your lifestyle first. Now with Blokes, they will give you everything they need. They ship it to your house. They even have at-home testing samples, so you don't have to go to a clinic. You don't have to pay out the rear end for these products. So I back them 100%. But moral of the story is make sure you're being overseen by a proper medical professional, in which case you're getting substances from a reliable source. You know how much to take. You know where your levels are at. You know where all of your other health markers are at, because it could be a sign of a larger problem that, again, can be solved through a company like Blokes. So that's testosterone replacement therapy. Let me know what you think about it. Is this something that you think is a really good idea? Something that's going to change a lot of lives? Something that is, maybe it's politically held back from certain people? Maybe everyone should be on it? Maybe no one should be on it. I personally believe that there's a good chunk of the population, particularly men over 40, who could benefit in a big way. And women as well. Women as well. Low testosterone can be a major problem, but low estrogen can be a major problem as well. To take a bit of an aside, estrogen was prescribed in droves to women. I believe it was in the 80s, but it was prescribed in droves. Now, it acts like gas on a fire for cancerous cells in reproductive organs. So for men, prostate cancer would be a really good reason not to take supplementary testosterone, because it will just grow it very quickly. For women, breast cancer and ovarian cancer, estrogen will grow that very quickly. But outside of those circumstances, taken responsibly from a good source with reasonable dosage, it has shown to be incredibly positive, incredibly health forward for women, very osteoprotective, and by and large, a very good thing for the population. But the thing is, once they were prescribing it en masse, they saw that it did cause an increased risk of breast and ovarian cancer. Didn't, in my opinion, do a proper full analysis on how much is this harming and how much is this helping, because I still believe en masse it helps. And they just squashed it altogether. And this is where conspiracy side gets into it. Did they squash it because it was making people healthier, or did they squash it because it was making people unhealthier? It's something to think about, and be skeptical of your medical system, because in the past 24 years, you can think about all of the medical inventions and all of the advancements, all of the smart people in the world. In the Western world, we've increased lifespan by 3 years for both men and women, but we haven't increased health-adjusted lifespan by a single year. Could testosterone therapy, could hormone therapy be an answer? Potentially. Let me know your thoughts. As per usual, lift heavy, be kind. If you want to support the channel, the merch is in the YouTube shop or in the link in the description and the pinned comment if you can't see it already. As per usual, lift heavy, be kind, and we will catch you tomorrow.